Hey guys, so welcome to Relentless. So this is episode, holy crap, 61, and guess where I'm doing it from? Look, it's Cocoa Beach. So I'm super excited that I am here today on the beach. It was a complete accident, and I love that I ended up here on the beach because today's topic is choosing resilience in life and in business. And so this is an example of being resilient. So those of you who have been following me personally know that my dad just passed away this past week, actually 10 days ago. And on my way home, as it worked out, I had to take a layover into Cocoa Beach. And, this is an example of how I live my life. So my dad passed away, and my friend Jill, who happens to be a member of my Choose Healthy Change team, and also is the owner of Green Mountain Mini Aussies, we used to be employed by an airline, and so she gave me one of her buddy passes to get out of Dodge and to get back to Phoenix. And as it worked out, we had to fly into Orlando to get me to Phoenix. And so I figured, well, what the hell? I might as well make something fun out of it. And so my dad, I believe, is up there in heaven, kind of jerry-rigging stuff, because not only did he get me to Orlando, but he got me there in first class. And that doesn't usually happen. Usually when you're flying on standby, you don't get to go first class. So I had already chosen the topic for today, which is about resilience, but it's really gotten me thinking about how I've always chosen to be resilient in my life, and how in the opportunities in our life where they're seemingly awful, it's not cool that my dad just died. It's been very difficult 3 weeks, honestly. But one of the things that I've always been able to do in times of crisis is to flip the crisis on its ear and turn it into somehow a good story or a positive experience. And so I really think that relentlessness is really just a piece of resilience. If you look up resilience, go ahead and Google that shit. If you look up resilience, it really is about taking a crisis and turning it into a positive, using optimism to get through things and reframing things in your mind so that you cannot be damaged by the negative effect of a negative situation, and you can use that negative situation to create a positive. And so I think this is really one of my superpowers, quite frankly, and I think it's one of the reasons why people have I don't know what the words are, but people have marveled how I've been able to get through so many deaths in my life and so many tough things, and getting sober, and moving, and divorces, and all kinds of crap that can be the undoing of people if you don't reframe it in your mind. For me, being resilient is one of the most important things that you can have in life and business, because if you can't roll with the punches and somehow find a way to learn a lesson from the failures that come into your life, or the things that kind of just kick you in the ass, and find a way to pick yourself back up in a positive way, then really this life is going to be super difficult on you. It just really is, So today is an example, again, of being resilient, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get back to Phoenix right away. And so I thought, okay, right on to plan B. And I wasn't able to get a hold of the folks that I was planning on interviewing today to reconfigure my schedule. And so I'll be refiguring them into my schedule later on in the year. And I thought, well, gee, who could I interview? And I thought, Jill's perfect, because Jill is who I'm staying at her house, and she's the one that kind of gave me this opportunity to be resilient real time. And, there's my hashtag this year has been choose joy, and it really is a choice on how you want to look at the things in your life. It's super sad that I lost my dad. It's not easy on my mother. She's been with my dad since she was 17 and a half. She's 80 this year, and to lose someone that you've been with for 64 years is really super duper tough. But at the same time, I'm super excited for my mom, because a lot of us in my generation, or in earlier generations of my mom's, had an opportunity to be on our own when we were younger and kind of learn more about who we are outside of being somebody's daughter or wife or sibling, to have your own space and to be able to hold your own space and be able to kind of decide what it is that is yours to do. And my mom and many women in her generation didn't really have that time. So I'm really excited for her to see what happens in this chapter of her life. But I also know she's going to have some grieving to do. And I think that, sometimes we think that we separate business and personal. And as I looked around the room at my dad's wake, I realized that of the 6 or 7 businesses that my dad started and, founded and sold in Vermont, many of the folks who bought the businesses that my family operated were in the room. And, my dad was a really great example. I'm wearing his hunting fleece and his New York Yankees jacket. And he was a really great example of how there really is no line between personal and business. If you're doing the things that you love in life, then there really isn't a line between personal and business. And so my dad showed me what resilience is really about, because he constantly was modeling resilience for me. Being a business owner in Vermont, he was a bicycle shop owner. Being a business owner for a seasonal business in a seasonal tourist state is no joke. So my dad had to always kind of refigure and redesign the wheel, pun intended, reframe things. He was a frame builder. He had to constantly be recreating himself and his business. And he really was the model of resilience. And so that's what today's topic is really resilience. And I want you to think about that, about how important resilience is, and that resilience is really a choice. So Jill is sitting next to me here on the beach towel at the beach, and we're going to talk with her about a couple things. One, she is a member of my Choose Healthy Change team, and she's also doing a challenge that I'm doing called the Reboot Camp Challenge. So I'm going to ask her some questions about her experience with the Reboot Camp Challenge, and while she's decided to come on board as a healthy change agent, and what she has planned for her health and wellness business this year, as well as what she's doing with her new company, Green Mountain Aussies. Her pups, she has 5 mini Aussies herself, and 2 of them have just produced the most amazing litter. There's 5 of them. 1 is spoken for already, and so 2 are spoken for. Oh my goodness, 2 are spoken for. Which one got spoken for?
Black Tri Guy.
Oh, Black Tri Guy?
AKA Ace now.
Awesome. Ace got scooped up, so she has 3 more pups for sale. And I want to talk to her about her, what she does with that business and why she's doing it. And then we're going to talk about this idea of resilience and what some of the big lessons that she's learned in her life as a long-term employee of a major airline in the industry, and just some of the things that she's learned about resilience in that capacity, but how she's repurposing those lessons into her business. So there's the beach. Look at that. There's the beach. Hey, first, let's take a look at the beach. Usually I shoot this on Be Live, but we figured, what the hell, let's do it on live radio. So, Jill, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jill St Benoit. I just graduated culinary school 2 years ago, so I have a small catering business.
Awesome. I didn't even mention that.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And I also have recently, with my boys, adult children, started Green Mountain Mini Aussies. We've had a Mini Aussie for coming up on 14 years. I love the breed. A couple years ago, I was really, really depressed. I had lost my collie, our family dog, and I needed another dog to fill that void. And it made my other dog very happy, although she was annoyed for the first 2 weeks.
Super, I'm sure.
Super annoyed. And now they're best of friends. And little by slow, we accumulated some amazing animals. Very picky to my shopping for very, very healthy and genetically accurate dogs, and so I picked up 3 other females along the way, and now we're starting this small business, this boutique business of raising mini Aussies. And speaking of resilience, part of that reason that I want to have a small family business is because I have a child on the spectrum. He has autism and epilepsy. He is my hero. Aww. And it's a way to incorporate his skills that he's learned in the community. He is supported by some mental health professionals in Vermont. Burlington, Vermont is where we have our business, and segue into Merritt Island, Florida, which is where we are now. And, I want to give him something that he can participate in and make some money at and build a small nest egg for himself, because as every parent of a child on the spectrum knows, we're not going to be here forever. And we want to leave them as well off as they can be, so they can live a quality of life that they deserve. So that is part of the reason we're doing this business. Zachary also is a part of the business. He graduated Castleton University 2 years ago with a business degree. So we'll be tapping into his brain in order to do the business side of it. And I'm more the mouthpiece because, as you can tell, I'm pretty shy.
Yeah.
So it's a marvelous opportunity if you are looking for a dog that is loyal, small, easy to travel with, a dog that is smarter than smart, is active if you like to be active, if you're looking to be active. A dog is a reason and is a known fact for people to be healthier. So if you're looking to be healthier, dogs need walks, dogs need playtime, dogs are an uptake in oxytocin automatically. That's the love chemical in our bodies. So there are just so many reasons to have a dog. And if you don't want a mini Aussie, go and get yourself a dog of your choice. But I want you to know that my dogs are well raised in our family. They're educated with people on the spectrum. They know about that. It's just a really lovely life that we lead. We have a very healthy, loving life in Vermont. And so that's why I do that, to hopefully leave my children with a legacy.
So Jill is also part of a thing that I've been doing over the past 2 months now, actually, called the Reboot Camp Challenge. And I have a team of folks that are focusing on helping people to choose healthy change. And Jill came on as a participant in the group, so I want to ask you how that's been going.
Well, being true to yourself is a challenge. If I wanted vanilla cake, I bake a vanilla cake because
Because you're cake?
I know how to do that, and I don't typically eat anything out of a box anymore. I don't participate in things that, have GMOs in it. I don't believe in that. We have a lot of information in order to keep healthy these days, to combat diabetes, which is in my family, on both sides of my children's family, and I don't want to introduce that. And unfortunately, though, if I want it, I make it. So I've had to pull back the reins a little bit and say, maybe I'll have that tomorrow. I haven't been great at it. I'd give myself about a 65, 70% if I was giving myself a grade. But I will tell you, prior to January 6th, it's a lot better than it was. And I'm exercising as much as I can. I had back surgery, so I'm a little off my game there. But with the opportunity to eat healthy, a little bit of body movement, my dogs, my mental health is just in a place where it has not been. It's better. I'm not going to say it's not been good, but it's just better overall. Yeah. This has been excellent for me. I keep falling off the sugar wagon, and I keep putting myself back on. I was a blessed participant in helping to provide services for Michelle's family. So we've been carb loading, and today we're not carb loading. We did have breakfast, but we're back on track. And as long as you're getting back on track, repeatedly back on track, and not slipping into that slippery slope of, I already started eating poop today, so I might as well just keep doing it. No, stop it. Stop the insanity. Don't eat that 5th cookie. Just stop it. Go have some water. Go have some water.
Yeah. So we are 2 months in, halfway through the Reboot Camp Challenge, and there's about 60 of us doing it. And so one of the things that I think is really cool about the Reboot Camp Challenge is that you have an opportunity to kind of see cycles start to develop. And, life is happening. Life's in session all the time. And so, choosing to be resilient and to kind of take life situations and to kind of flip them on their ear and turn it into a positive is definitely one of the things that we're all learning in that challenge. So if you'd like to learn more about it, you can go to rebootcamp2020.com, and there's some information, and you can always join us at any time. So Jill is also building a small health and wellness business. So if you're interested in learning more about how she's eating and how she's being successful, you can reach out to Jill or myself, and we can fill you in on that. So question, what do you think the biggest lesson you've learned in business so far as you've been developing Green Mountain Aussies and your catering business and coming on board as a Choose Healthy Change Agent?
I was thinking about that. I didn't even know you'd be asking me that, but as I'm pondering, how can I make this business something that's successful? Because it's been hard to, I have a breeding mentor. She's amazing. Her name is Mata. She's Outback Mini Aussies down in Ranger, Texas. She's been an amazing woman for me to have a mentor, have a mentor. You can't do stuff alone. Maybe you can. I can't do stuff alone, and I need to be taught. I don't know how to raise dog. I know how to raise a dog. I don't know how to be a breeder. So I've had to tap into the unknown and be not afraid. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to be a pain You know, in a healthy, kind, say thank you, be appreciative, but don't take no for an answer.
Right.
You know, when you hear no, say, maybe I'll reattempt that in a few minutes. We will be putting out some pictures of the dogs left on Green Mountain Mini Aussies. We also have a website you can find on the Facebook page. On Instagram, it's Green MTN Mini Aussies. And yeah, I guess my biggest answer to that would be I try not to take no as an insult and accept it as a challenge and to try to flip that around.
So that's pretty cool. Right there is resilience. One is having a mentor, and two is to not accept no as your final answer. Hey, Donna and Guy and Ann watching out there in Facebook land. So resilience, Joe. Tell me what you could tell us about how you've chosen to be resilient personally and professionally.
I was looking up the word resilience before we started this, just so I could be on par with the conversation. And you know, resilience is the definition of Jill. Yeah. And I'm not even trying to be
100%
ego-driven. Let me just tell you that back in 2000, my kid's dad was killed in a car accident. It was I mean, what else is there to say, but it was horrifying. And we never had childcare. We always worked opposite shifts, and I had to learn how to bounce back. There was depression, there was anxiety, there was drinking obsessively, there was getting sober in that event, there was moving to Vermont, there was healthiness in my relationships up there and learning new friends. I mean, it was just, I don't really know anybody that's more resilient than me. Maybe you, Michelle. Yeah. Well, maybe we're tied for resilience, but I'm hardy. I've been called a survivor. I believe that that's probably a very good synonym for resilience.
Absolutely. I love that, hardy. You know, when you think about plants that survive or animals that survive, it's a hardy plant. You know, it's those are the plants that are able to take all the weather and, you know, not enough water, too much water, wind, snow, sleet, you know, and still keep on popping up. You know, when I was first getting sober about 20 years ago, I was sitting out on my back porch, and there was a daffodil that was coming up out of the crack of a tiny. Have I ever told you the story? And I just remember thinking to myself, you know, wow. I mean, that is a resilient plant. But I don't think I actually used the word resilient. But when I think about it, daffodils are really an example of resilience, because they just come up every spring, like it or not. They don't care if it's snowing or if it doesn't seem like it's the right time. They just you know, bloom. And I think that the things in life that are resilient, the people in life that are resilient, are the ones that eventually really bloom. Do you think that's true?
Well, I didn't know that particular story, but I'm very fond of flowers, and I'm very fond of the way things always reboot in the spring. Yeah. And I think being a northerner, and we need that. We need to see the beauty of growth again. And if you can get through the dark, cold February Vermont winter, and it's dark in Vermont, it's the second or third darkest state in the Union. If you can get through that and know that right on the other side of that, you know, is March and flowers and blooming and new life, it just it keeps your spirits alive. Yeah. But you know, you need to find something that gives you joy in life. Right now I ride a motorcycle. I've been riding for almost a decade. Because of Michelle and my husband, I found a passion I didn't even know I was going to be that into. You know, the dogs, my children. I mean, I have a lot of passions. Cooking is my soul. I emote via cooking. I make food and I watch people eat and I watch them smile. So after I was a 25-year employee of United Airlines and I retired, I was 45. Yeah. I had more stuff to do, you know. Right. I couldn't just be done. So I had to find new stuff to take up my time, to make me happy. And so maybe I'm not done. Maybe I have more things, you know, more pans in the fire. I don't know. But for now, that's what gives me passion in this right here, this ocean. I live 12 minutes from the ocean in Florida. It's a 12-minute bike ride right up and over a causeway. I live right near NASA. I see these amazing shuttle launches. I'm watching technology. You know, it's a birth of a new technological amazing. It's just amazing. I like to stay amazed by the little things.
I love that. She likes to stay amazed by little things. And that's basically what it comes down to for me, is that both Jill and I are polypreneurs. And I think there's a lot of us out there that are doing this as a gig economy. There's people that may have a 9-to-5 job that are working in a network marketing company at night or on the weekends. Maybe they're doing something with clothing, or they're doing something with food, or they could potentially be a healthy change agent with my company that is helping to promote health and wellness, and not only health and wellness, but financial stability. And maybe they're driving Uber. I think that people are choosing to have several buckets of income right now, not just relying on one occupation. It's funny. My dad was worked for Lockheed for a long time before he opened his bicycle shop. And as I'm going through his retirement plan, he gets $43.93 from Lockheed in his pension. Isn't that nice of them? My mom gets to buy like cream and coffee and toilet paper and paper towels with all the years that he was at Lockheed, and has zero residual income. Not zero, it's $43.93. It's almost zero though. So I think that people are kind of waking up to the fact that they can choose to monetize their passion. So for Jill, she adores, the culinary arts. And so she did a really amazing job helping us with our wake. So if you're looking for somebody to help you with a small party or a big party, you can reach out to Jill. If you're in the Burlington, Vermont area, or you're in the Merritt Island area. And if you're looking for a really great pet, that's just an amazing opportunity to have something loving and super fluffy in your house. You can go to Green Mountain Mini Aussies and check out the 3 dogs that are left of this 5-dog litter. I'll tell you something, it's really hard for me to take one home. And if you're interested and you're in the Vermont area and you'd like to learn about some opportunities to promote health and wellness and also to increase residual income, you can also reach out to Jill. So she's taking the things that she feels passionate about, which is food, healthy food, and also sharing healthy food, and also dogs, and the breed that she's fallen in love with. And so she has 3 opportunities to earn income and is working them simultaneously. And I think that a lot of people are polypreneurs like that today. I am not so unique. Relentless Talk Radio is about 4 pillars, and those are the 4 pillars that I feel passionate about: health and fitness, art and fashion, entrepreneurism, and philanthropy. Those are the 4 things that I feel passionate about, and they're all monetized in a different way. So I think that the reason that I've chosen to focus on 4 things is because that's what I feel passionate about. And I also believe that I have been resilient by working all of those passions simultaneously, because I just don't think that we live in an economy anymore that you can just focus on one thing anymore. I think you have to diversify your portfolio. When I was a financial advisor, I didn't put people in just growth stocks. I built a balanced portfolio so that, depending upon what was happening with the universe, with the economy, people would continue to earn residual income in their retirement. And that's what I've done with my life. I've taken the skills that I've learned as a financial advisor and I've applied them to my life. And I see a lot of people like Jill and I are polypreneurs because we are truly the example of resilience. So, if you haven't got, a gig that you're interested in, you can reach out to Jill and I about the health and wellness piece of what we do, and maybe that might be a good fit for you, and you could do a gig economy on the side with your day job, or maybe you're just at a point where you're just ready to do something different. Maybe you're just ready to buy someone a birthday gift and it happens to be a mini Aussie. I know that someone reached out to me yesterday and they're really looking for a new birthday gift. So, there's 3 things that you can work with Jill on, and one of them is catering. The other is 4 things?
My Airbnb.
Oh my goodness, that's right. Jill also has an Airbnb. She Airbnbs her house down here in Florida. So if you want to visit this beach
And see a launch perhaps
at Cape Canaveral, then you can also reach out to Jill for her Airbnb. So Jill is an example of what resilience looks like in today's day and age. We have so many opportunities available to us to earn an income that wasn't available 10 years ago when I left Vermont, when I closed my salon down and I moved out to Arizona. And now my income is diversified in 4 ways, and so is Jill. So if you'd like to come to Arizona, if you'd like to come to Florida and stay close to Cape Canaveral, then you can reach out to Jill for her Airbnb. If you're looking for a really awesome pet, you can reach out to Jill because she's got these 3 great dogs. Or if you're interested in health and fitness and potentially working seeking a gig economy where you can supplement your income in that way, reach out to Jill. And also, if you have a small party or any kind of party in the Merritt Islands, the Space Coast area, or in the Burlington, Vermont area, you can reach out to her for that. So Jill is the example of polypreneurship, just like I am, and it's resilience personified. Can you think of anything else you want to say today?
Regarding the health and wellness piece, I will say that I suffer from some chronic pain, hence the reason that my career came to an end. I've got spinal degeneration, and since I've undertaken this new health and wellness, it's a twofer. It's a don't, cut down on the refined sugars and carbs, which is not always easy for us, especially as I'm getting older. I'm going to be 50 in April, and I want what I want, darn it.
Yeah.
But, it's not good for my body. We all know that it's inflammatory. So while I do this other gig economy, I do this isogenics piece. I love it. It has helped take down my pain level substantially. And I'm not a believer. I believe in God, even though I can't see him or her, but I don't believe something I can't touch, can't see, can't smell. I believe in this.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, there you go. Health and wellness, art and fashion, philanthropy, entrepreneurism, just in Jill's own way, and I just think it's awesome that we live in a space now where literally the two of us are working from the beach. This is our office today. I mean, really, come on. This is our office today. On the beach here at Cocoa Beach, we are working our polypreneur life, and that's the way it goes. So, short show today. I hope that you guys all got something out of it, and I look forward to getting back on track with the normal programming of Relentless Talk Radio from Phoenix next week. It is the first Tuesday of the month, so I'll be interviewing an artist and also a health and fitness professional about their approach to health and fitness. So I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday from 2:30 to 3:30 here on Relentless Talk Radio. And tell me what you're doing to be resilient in business and in life. Are you a polypreneur? What are some of the things that you're doing to diversify your portfolio financially and physically, emotionally, spiritually, to kind of deal with how life is different today than it ever has been before? And how is it a positive for you? Because I think sometimes people focus on how the economy is changing and it's bad, but see, I don't look at it that way. I think there's so many opportunities to earn a living today that there's just really no reason not to feel passionate about what you do. And if you haven't found it yet, you just got to reframe stuff and find it. So thanks for hanging out with me today, Jill. Say goodbye to everybody.
Picking up trash on the beach.
Yeah, she's picking up trash on the beach. So that's it. Relentless Talk Radio, episode 62. Have a great day, guys. And Jill actually sat next to a Yankee cap, and she's a diehard Boston fan, so it's okay. This is my dad's baseball cap, and it's his only reason. My dad's baseball cap. My family are Yankee fans, and I just want to say, be open to find joy in very unexpected places. Because if you had told me that I would find joy coming back and leaving my mom in Vermont and going back to Phoenix, and I would find joy in any way in that experience, I would tell you impossible. But as I was on the plane yesterday flying first class, it's funny. I've never flown first class before. I hadn't thought of it. Flying first class. I'm on the beach today. I have the luxury of riding a brand new Harley Davidson around Florida. If you had told me that was the way I was going to return from my father's funeral and losing my dad, I would tell you it's not possible. But when you're resilient, you know that there's joy found behind every corner if you just look at it differently and leave yourself open to have an experience that lifts you up and lifts others up. And in doing that, you just never know what's going to happen financially for your business and for your family. There's really unlimited opportunity in this life if you put yourself out there and just look for it and be open to it, because it's definitely out there. All right, guys, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope you guys all have a really great day, and this is episode 62 of Relentless Talk Radio. Thanks for listening.